Okay, so before we get into what we love, right? Movement. This is different. This isn't a treadmill, it's not a dumbbell, it's not a barbell. So we have to take a few minutes to understand the science behind this technology. And our job is to really make the complex simple. So how does the power plate work? The first thing is, don't be scared by the word vibration. Everything in life is vibration, literally everything. The fact that you can see me or hear me are vibrational waves, sound waves and light waves to be exact. But everything from what we think to what we feel, emotions, are vibration. When we're walking, jumping, running, playing sport, every time we hit the ground and the ground hits us back, that's a form of vibration. So number one, don't be scared by the word. Number two, this is mechanical vibration. It's not electrical, it's not magnetic, it's mechanical. And so what we know about mechanical vibration, at least that which is safe for the human body, is that it has to have two things. Number one is its frequency. Frequency refers to how often the plate is vibrating. And so with power plate, it goes between 30 and 50 vibrations per second. So these are measured in hertz. Our frequency means how often is it vibrating. The second thing is the amplitude. How far does that plate actually displace? Because it does, it moves up and down. Every time it moves, we have a low setting and a high setting. Now, even though we're only talking about a couple of millimeters, the point is when I go from one to the next, I'm doubling the distance that it travels. So when you put frequency and amplitude together, think of these as your intensity dials. So on a treadmill, you might have speed and gradient, right? In a dumbbell, you might have weight and reps. We're talking about frequency and amplitude. If I increase frequency, more work. If I increase amplitude, more work. If I increase both, I've really turned up that intensity dial. Similarly, I can turn them down. And we're going to show you in our application modules when you should turn it up and when you should turn it down based on what you're training for. Okay, the second thing with vibration is the quality. Not all mechanical vibration is equal. So we have got what we call harmonic. It's just a really fancy word for saying it's precise, it's predictable, and it's research proven to be safe for the human body. So every time this plate vibrates, it's in a range with precise vibrations that our body actually likes, it's designed for. Compare this to non-harmonic. So think of a construction worker breaking concrete with a jackhammer. That's mechanical vibration, but that is not good for the body. And we know that because it leads to a lot of musculoskeletal and neurological problems. So know that even though it's mechanical vibration, this is the safe one, and it's in the safe range. Now for us, this is probably the most important part. When you turn this plate on, whether it's to prepare, perform, or recover, you have to conceptualize it's actually moving. It's not just shaking, it's moving. So if I'm on this plate, and I'm gonna do, let's say, some kind of lateral lunge, every time I step on this plate, it's moving up and down, front and back, and side to side 30 to 50 times a second. So two critical things happen every time that plate leaves you and comes back. Number one, the plate drops and the body says, man, the ground just went missing. And anytime the ground goes missing, whether it's jumping off a box, walking down a step, slipping on a patch of ice, kicking a soccer ball, your body has to respond to that instability. So number one, the plate gives us little micro hits of instability. Number two, it has to come back and hit me. It leaves and it comes back. Now, here's the magic. Every time it comes back, it applies ground reaction force to my body. Whether my feet are on the product, my forearms, my hands, doing a push-up, it leaves and comes back. Instability, ground reaction force. Every time you walk outside, every time you run outside, your foot leaves the ground and comes back. This is exactly what happens in everyday authentic function, in the game of life or the game of sport. We constantly leave and return, creating instability, ground reaction force, and in multiple directions. So for us, that technology is why we believe the power plate is one of the most authentic training tools on the market.